Here's what you need to know about Medicaid in Florida. It's important to know that Medicaid is not one thing. Medicaid is not one program. Medicaid is really an umbrella term for multiple different programs. The three or four programs that I deal with the most in my office, I'll go kind of in long-term care, and then I'll work my way down. So the highest level of long-term care Medicaid program in Florida is called the Institutional Care Program, or ICP. This is for Floridians who are in rehab or long-term skilled nursing facility care, right? Commonly thought of as a nursing home. And if you know anything about nursing homes, you know that they are very, very expensive. They typically cost somewhere between $9,000 and $12,000 a month. That's kind of like a very standard range that I see in the state of Florida. And for many people, that will decimate their life savings. In order to be eligible for the ICP nursing home program to get help paying for a nursing home, is you have to pass an income test and an asset test. Meaning if your income is above a certain amount, you do not naturally qualify. And if you have more than $2,000, you also don't naturally qualify. What people do with kind of a variety of these Medicaid programs is they come to a lawyer like myself or my law firm, Elder Needs Law. We serve all of Florida, and people come to us saying, we have some money and we don't want to lose it all to the nursing home. Can you get us onto Medicaid? If they're in a nursing home, we would legally and ethically protect their assets and get the government to cover a substantial portion of their nursing home costs, their nursing home care. In a nursing home, kind of the deal is once you're financially eligible, meaning your income is below a certain level, or if your income exceeds a certain amount, we have what's called a qualified income trust that we can use. But that's kind of a more detailed than what I think this video warrants. But once you're financially eligible and in the program, the deal with Medicaid is all of your income less $130 will go to the nursing home. That will be what's called your patient responsibility. And then Medicaid picks up the difference, right? So if you're in a $10,000 per month nursing home and your income is, I'm going to just for round numbers, $2,130, your patient responsibility will be $2,000. Medicaid will let you keep $130 for just haircuts and, just little odds and ends and toiletries and things like that. And then Medicaid will pay the $8,000 difference. So that's a pretty good deal. Now, there are some exceptions to that. If you are married, if the Medicaid recipient who's in the nursing home is married to someone who is not in a nursing home, there is a way to divert a portion of the nursing home resident's income over to what we call the community spouse. The idea behind it is not to force the community spouse into, abject poverty because they happen to be married to someone who's in a nursing home. They also have a higher asset limit, meaning they can keep a decent amount of money in their personal name, while the Medicaid recipient can only have less than $2,000. So that's kind of the highest level of Medicaid program that we routinely work with. The next level down is for folks who need to either be in an assisted living facility, not a nursing home. There's a difference in those two types of, they both kind of provide long-term care services, but the ALF, the assisted living facility, is a lower level of care that's needed. Or my client wants to remain at home, but in order to do so, they need home health care, meaning they really can't live independently, but they're not sick enough or they haven't deteriorated enough yet to where they require to be in a facility of some kind. So that program is called the Medicaid Waiver program. It's also called Home and Community-Based Services Medicaid. That is a different program, a different Medicaid program than the one that pays for nursing home care, right? ICP, Institutional Care Program, pays for nursing home care. Medicaid Waiver pays for helps to pay for assisted living facility or home health care. The financial criteria are the same, meaning your income has to be below a certain level, your assets have to be below a certain level. There's a few differences though. The first is the Medicaid Waiver program has a wait list. Part of what we do a really good job at is helping you minimize the amount of time you or your loved one spends on that wait list. And then the benefit you get is a little bit different. In an assisted living facility, depending on where you are in the state of Florida, Medicaid will contribute typically somewhere between $1,300 and $1,500 toward the assisted living facility if that facility accepts Medicaid, which you have to verify. It might be a little bit more, maybe it's $1,550, right? It might be a little bit more than $1,500, it might be a little bit lower than $1,300. It's kind of different throughout the state of Florida. But that is it in terms of, you know, if the assisted living facility is $5,000 per month and you have $2,000 worth of income and Medicaid contributes, let's say, another $1,500, there's still a difference, right? There's still some amount due, and the assisted living facility is going to want their bill paid. Sometimes they'll negotiate a little bit, but sometimes family members are contributing on top of their loved one's income and on top of what Medicaid pays. So it's important for people to be aware of that as well. As part of the Medicaid waiver program, the people who want to stay at home still have to go through the waitlist process. But once they're on the program, Medicaid will approve them for a certain number of hours. Rarely is it ever anything approaching 24 hours a day. So sometimes, again, Medicaid will approve, let's say they approve 30 hours. I'm making that up. It can be less, it can be more, but let's say they approve 30 hours and your loved one needs 50 hours a week of home health care. You either have to privately pay for the difference, or you have to go through an appeals process to, you know, kind of take Medicaid to task and say, you know, you undervalued the number of hours that me or my loved one needs for home health care, for them to live at the home, and there's a process for doing that. But so we have Medicaid ICP, nursing home, Medicaid waiver, which is the program that helps to pay for ALF and some home health care. Kind of the next level down, a program that I work with, which is called QMB, that stands for Qualified Medicare Beneficiary. The primary feature of that Medicaid plan is it does not have a long-term care benefit, but it will pay for Medicare Part B premiums, and will also allow you to join what's called a DSNP plan, that stands for Duly Enrolled Special Needs Plan. And essentially, it is an excellent Medicare supplement. So it'll cover your co-pays, it'll cover prescription costs, or you pay a very limited copay. It's typically between, I think, $1 and $10 per prescription if it's a Medicare approved prescription. So QMB is a really nice plan for my my clients who like to take advantage of it are either my elderly or disabled folks who need long-term care but don't want to wait. They need some help with expensive prescriptions now. And while they're on the wait list for the Medicaid waiver program, because there's no wait list for QMB, or it's my clients who don't have long-term care needs, but maybe they have cancer or they're diabetic and they have really expensive prescriptions that is kind of a financial disaster for them. QMB can be a wonderful program to help them pay for that. QMB has a different income and asset threshold than Medicaid waiver and Medicaid ICP. Finally, there's what's called Meds AD, that's Medicaid for the aged and disabled. That's for folks who do not have Medicare, but they are disabled, they've been deemed disabled, and it's just a good health insurance plan. It's just you get on what's called community Medicaid, and it helps with those co-pays and prescription costs. And again, it's like essentially QMB for folks who don't have Medicare or are not entitled to Medicare. There's more than that. Of course, there's Medicaid for pregnant women and women with minor children, for foster kids, for there's all these different Medicaid flavors of Medicaid. The only ones that I work with are the Meds AD, QMB, Medicaid waiver, and the Medicaid ICP program. If you're saying to yourself, it'd be nice to have this program, but I have just too much by way of income or too much by way of assets, we have legal and ethical ways of protecting your income and assets and still getting you qualified for these different programs. They can be amazingly beneficial for my clients who are disabled or over the age of 65 in need of long-term care who have expensive medications. So this is, I think, Florida Medicaid in a nutshell. There's certainly much more to it. I couldn't possibly cover it all in one video, but what we like to do is, if there's something that is of interest to you and you're anywhere in the state of Florida, give us a call, schedule a consultation so that we can talk to you about your specific issues, and then we will tailor a plan unique to fit your needs. There's more than one way to do it. Typically, we have more than one strategy. They all have pros and cons, and what we're doing is, depending on your specific situation or set of circumstances, we're tailoring a plan that fits your needs. Hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, please give us a call, schedule a consultation. We're here to help. Thank you very much.